We're starting our hike. This is probably the dozenth time I've done the Lakeshore Trail in one direction or the other. And this year we're going to go from Grand Sable Falls to Sand Point. It's bright and sunny, but chilly, but still great hiking weather. And with me are Nancy and Tim. We're going to hike about 41 miles, 9 miles today, then about 7, then about 9, then about 7, and 9.
Who else is with us?
Also with us we have Andy and Elle, and later on in the trip we're going to be joined by a couple. I do not know their names. I think it's a father-daughter pair. I don't know if they've ever done any hiking before. And also Gail and her boyfriend Rick will join us, but they'll be joining us later in the trip on Saturday. No, Saturday or Sunday? Saturday, I think.
Okay. No.
How do you tell that they're almost done?
Can you tell what?
How do you know that they're almost done?
They turn purple.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One is a little purple on the left there. You got 3 of them right there in the front.
So the purpler one is older.
Correct.
I didn't know that.
But they're pretty when they're purple too.
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
I'm just looking out into the little open glade.
Oh, taking a picture? Video?
Taking a video. This will be pretty, Ken.
There's a star flower up here. Right here. Yeah, I saw one of those already, yeah.
As I say, for me, white things, blue things, yellow things. Up the hill. You take the Dunes Trail. It's probably only about 10, maybe a quarter. I doubt it's a quarter mile. Hardest bit is what I'm on right now. It's the last few hundred feet. Whew, up a sand dune. And you do have, quite the reward for pushing up the sand dune, getting sand in your shoes. Once you get to the end, which we should be getting pretty close to. Oh boy. I forget how much challenge there is walking in soft sand. Oh, I do believe one more rise and we'll be there. Just over this hillock. Whew. All righty, oh, I was expecting to see the others. Here we are. First view, Lake Superior.
That was a fun climb.
Yeah, with a nice view at the end of it.
Back out of the sand in a minute.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep, tick central in this field.
Classic cinnamon roll bags strapped to day packs.
But they're so pretty because everyone likes a
That
cinnamon
dude in
roll.
the fifth position's hardcore, man. I don't know how long they've been out.
It's all incidental. But why leapfrog? I don't understand the.
Oh, you never noticed? Leapfrog? Too?
I know who you're talking. Yeah, I just.
Always color coordinated.
Is she?
Oh, yeah. And has a lipstick. She won't have, like, full makeup or anything, but she has lipstick. But, yeah, oh, yeah. Her gear is always... It's not the first most comfortable thing to pull about. It's
What she likes the look of. Okay. But if it happens to be comfortable, that's good too.
really special if the when she buys, you know, a certain season, you go to our yard, we have everything that matches itself because it's the same company, but
Well,
oh yeah.
this pack color I think I picked because Andy had the other one. And actually they're different models of pack. They're similar, they're in a similar class, but mine's a smaller version of what he's wearing. But I said, well, I don't want to get the same color Andy's got because what if we get confused? So this rust color I think is pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah. This edge here.
The old bridge they just left under the new bridge.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I can see it from here.
You see it?
It fills up and everything. It's an ugly sight.
Oh,
Oh wow.
I love the sound.
Who feet are left? What? The hall.
No, it's not at all. It's just a dip.
This is really a very nice new bridge here. I never see the fish in Grand Sable Lake here, but
There's a lot of fish in there.
seeing them?
Yeah, a lot of them.
How far out do you have? Are they near the shore? Far out?
Close to
No,
the
you
shore.
can see them through because the sun is shining.
No North Country Trail hike would feel complete if it didn't have a bit of a road walk. This is the only stretch as we circle around Grand Sable Lake here. It's not the prettiest lake maybe, but it's got life in it. Usually the ferns are nowhere near this fuzzy and lush, but spring has come early to the Upper Peninsula. I actually saw these as I walked by. Well, we're approaching the log slide, and it's definitely been the coolest start to the trip as far as temperature goes that we've had doing these trips for the past 15 years for me, and Andy's been doing them a lot longer. It's actually not bad right now, no wind, so that's pleasant, but you can tell it's going to be cold tonight. It's remarkable how green things are here, even though it's supposed to have been fairly dry. Spring clearly came early. I don't know what flowers we've seen. Trilliums I can recognize. Other stuff too. Saw a loon earlier. Some turtles have been spotted. Heard the distinctive sound of a ruffed grouse going whoop, 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 whoop. I love that sound. So, all in all, it's been a good day so far.
The thing about these piezos I always find interesting, when I get home they work fine.
Oh, over in that direction, it's a really rich, vibrant orange. That's really quite startling. I was not expecting a sunset of this caliber. Well, after one kitchen disaster resulting in a burnt coat, dinner has been consumed. Tim and Nancy did a great job getting this fire going. And people have had conversations. Well, most people. Good morning.
It used to be a clear path to that one site.
Hello. What? I didn't know I passed you.
Yeah, we were sitting down there by the ticket table.
Oh.
Right in the ticket.
Wait. So where were we? Coming out of the hemlock grove.
Actually, they're firs and not hemlock.
Well, hi there, Ken.
Did you
Nice day.
Yeah. So
Still cold, but nice.
Oh, it's much better than yesterday. Many orchids. Not really visible to the camera, but or me.
Mini bean salad.
Crusty earthen pouch seal on Lakeshore. Steep for 60 minutes.
What?
Steep.
This is good for us.
Honey, enough now. Oh, what happened? It boiled. The water was in there that boiled and it went in the pan.
The steam went back down into the pan.
Now it's all soup again.
No.
We tried baking it. We tried a little steam baking, and then the steam then fell into the brownie tin and turned it back into soup. Now we're just trying to.
See, I knew it.
Uh-oh.
Dang it.
It's doing something, folks. It's doing something. Sunset at Sevenmile campground. It's been a gorgeous day. We've got here several hours ago. We spent the last hour trying to cook a brownie. It's not working out so well. First tried baking it on my little canister stove, and there was too much water in the brownie mix, so it wasn't really baking. Then I decided to use the fire. That provides heat, and I can save fuel. Then we put some more brownie mix in, spilt a bunch because the bag had a hole, and because I can't pour worth a damn. But we got more in there, but there was still too much, probably too much water in it. So it's baking away, and we put a little water in the bottom of the pan, maybe too much, because it steamed up, and then it boiled and condensed back into the brownie, turning what had been a firming up brownie back into soup. And so we're still trying. It's bubbling away merrily now, like a good lava cake or a mud pot. Who knows? Maybe it will succeed. It's been good for laughs. New one what?
Oh, people putting graffiti on the cars.
Oh,
It's a wonder you don't see 70s, you don't see 80s.
There's a couple 80s. But some of the screws are like that hold pieces together are Phillips. I didn't know they used Phillips screws back in the 40s on cars. If I had to guess, I'd say this is a 1940 Plymouth. It just eroded with time.
oops. It's probably a little longer if you go to Trapper Lake and then around past Beaver Lake to where Beaver Creek lets out at Lake Superior. But if you go that way, you miss all these great views of the lake. And you also have a much firmer trail. Up here, when the trail veers towards the edge, it gets very sandy. We're standing on deep, deep sand bluffs. And sand is hard to walk on. Saps the energy.
Do you know the lady's name?
Yeah.
Beaver Creek. Got here, I think, a little after 2 o'clock. Maybe it was a little before 2 o'clock, sometime around 2 o'clock. It's going to be just shy of 3 miles still to go to get to Coves group site. So we're going to linger here for a while. I suppose we got to the bluffs of Beaver Creek somewhat before 2. I was waffling on that earlier, but it's now a bit after 3 p.m., probably about 3:20, maybe a little later than that. Time to take on the last 2.8 or so miles to Coves group site. There was a family with young kids here at Beaver Creek. Very young kids. Bully for them. Great to be out. Uh-oh. Ah, yes. Boing, boing goes the bridge. Log bridge. And the creek. Actually, you know, it seems to me a lot wider than I've seen it before. A lot less brush right here. So, I'm probably misremembering, but it seems to be a lot less choked. The Coves group site. And if you stay here, be warned that water is nowhere nearby. Got to go back down the hellacious steps, down to the lake, into a crevice, and really work for it.
Once you get, you're going. Yeah, so
This night is a lot more pleasant than the previous 2 nights. We'd be huddled around that
It's warmer,
fire, you know, for
no
the warmth
wind.
and everything. Now it's just ambiance and, you know.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. Your feet
we
aren't
came
frozen.
at the right time then.
yeah.
Your feet aren't frozen. And
Yeah.
Here we are. We found a spot high up on the bluff in front of the Coves group site. This is as close as I'm going to get to the water and as close as anyone I think should get, because about a foot from me is a rather severe drop.
it's quite the cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the old trail.
And just started swimming out towards Grand Island, just further and further until I couldn't see him anymore.
It's a long way to go.
I don't know.
Cold water too. It'd be hard to survive for a long period of time.
I was thinking maybe they didn't survive. But something spooked them.
What's that?
A couple deer,
Oh.
a couple of weeks ago at Mosquito, they were running along the rocks and just dove in the water
Wow.
and started swimming towards Grand Island, which is,
Quite a ways
in
from
my
Mosquito.
mind, too far to make it.
Yeah.
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 And I kept watching them until I couldn't see them
Yeah.
anymore.
Wow.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright shining faces. This is the way to start a new day. Even if the day actually started, about 2 hours ago. Takes a while to break camp, especially if you're not really trying to hurry. But everyone's on our way now. Tim and Nancy left a long time ago. They like to get up early and get going early, take their time. Oop. Ooh. It's going to be warm today. It's been getting warmer each day. Yeah. Oh. A little critter. And a big critter. Good morning, fellow hikers.
Good morning.
There's a seagull coming.
Do you know if there's any plan for that cabin that's... They tarped the roof. Oh, they did?
Yeah, the one after 12 Mile?
This year?
It looks brand
fresh.
new.
Oh, wow, okay. That boat stayed in the little cove for a long time.
A splendid profusion of colors at the border. Sandstone cliffs, the aquamarine deep, actually I'd say emerald green of the water. The sky is overcast, so you haven't got a lovely blue, but that'll probably change. It was nice and blue earlier. And of course the trees. Lapping waves. Boats.
Closer to Ocean Sandpoint, between Sandpoint and Niagara Falls. Oh, actually,
There's another.
the ice cream beyond that too, though.
This is one of the more visited spots of Pictured Rocks with the Grand Portal Arch. Lots of day hikers. Welcome to the group site, Mosquito River.
Hi, Ken.
Hello. How many people do you think you met today?
Dozens,
Dozens?
yeah,
Anyone particularly interesting?
yeah. Two young girls from Ann Arbor, and then we met a group of 4 girls that are all in medical school to be doctors, and met a sawmill owner from Vanderbilt. 2 different parties from Grand Haven. We just met a lot of nice people today.
What do you have for supper there, Ken?
I'm making an egg mishmash.
Egg mishmash?
It's going to be eggs, some ham that I dried, a bunch of veggies that I dried. There may be some potato in there. To be honest, I don't remember.
Sounds good.
So we will see. Oh, and there's some and tortilla bits. I've not done this on the stove before. I have no idea how it's going to turn out.
Well, as long as it tastes good.
As long as it firms up, it looks a little soupy right now.
Like your brownie?
Not quite that bad.
Not gonna live it down, Ken.
Probably not.
Let's go over here and see what Andy's cooking. What you got there,
I'll
Andy?
try to move it around.
I've got Japanese soba noodles because they are high in calories and they don't take a lot of fuel to make and to soften. And I'm going to put them into a mix of Japanese dried garlic, garlic slices that I've mashed and rehydrated, and then I brown them, and I've got some chicken brown in here as well. And then when we get all that going, we're going to add in a tomato sauce mix
No.
to finish it off.
Yep, it's on.
So these noodles
Just laying
are
there.
al dente right now because we're going to continue cooking them.
Oh, I've got my
Here,
my salt and pepper flakes.
Oh man.
as usual, we're going to make more than we need. So somebody's going to be happy eating our leftovers.
And it won't be a raven.
Hopefully not. So when I do this, I get a little bit of spaghetti water in here, but that's actually okay. It's actually preferred to get a little bit of spaghetti water. I'm actually
Little
going to reserve
starch.
the spaghetti water to put it in here. Some more oil in here. Oils always just means plenty of calories, which is good for hikers.
Just trying to put leaves into my
Got all the chicken in here. Mosquitoes are coming out, which is unfortunate.
They're protein.
I guess they know we're feeding ourselves and making our blood supplies more accessible.
Piezo, those things are always finicky, and it gave out. I can see it sparking a little, but
You want me
I bet you it won't work.
to get my thermostat? I mean
Oh, look at that, the
Woo,
piezo
I heard
worked.
it go.
thermostat?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can see if the thermosol works.
It does. I like it.
You carried it? Yeah, bring it out, Gail. It's really hard to control the heat with these
I will bring
stoves, and these pans are really thin, so they burn easy.
But I found it.
More beans.
This is about as lucky as we
This
get.
looks like it might be.
Where's the thermosol?
Okay, we gotta go get an update.
Bring out the thermosol.
Another update from the other chef.
Right, this is looking.
Try not to trip on the guide wires.
I think this is firmed up pretty well.
I think that might be done.
Yeah, I think so too.
Pasta
Yeah,
water
we're
in
getting burned
here.
on the bottom already, so
Yeah,
just a little.
just a little. That's flavor. It's flavor.
There we go. Get some pasta water going.
I keep doing it.
Once
Keep trying
that
to-
Wrong way,
reduces a
huh?
little,
Yeah, I do that. I do that every time. Put that over there.
got the sauce,
Put this right here.
and we'll eat.
And I didn't bring my bowl down.
Elback?
Did I?
What do you need?
This is where the action
I
is.
need my bowl. I don't. It's in my. It's not.
He's sitting on top of a tree up there.
He's over there. Are into the trees. Circling back again, coming this way. I think the river will bring out nutrients.
It's about 6:30 in the morning, probably a bit over 50 degrees. You hear the sounds of camp waking up and of nature waking up. I think this is the most activity. Well, maybe yesterday was more. We had a couple very distinct birds yesterday morning. Today's our final day. About 10 miles on what it promises to be an overcast morning and afternoon. But we should still have a wonderful day. Somewhere up ahead of us is the rest of our group, probably wondering what happened to us, to Rick and I. It cleared up, the overcast went away. As we leave the shoreline, and the ravens behind, heading first towards Potato Patch, and then Miners Beach, and Miners Castle, and everything else that will eventually get us. Where did it go? There it is. To Sand Point. There are times when it's very thick. And I suppose that's mostly attributable to the fact that spring came early this year.
This log goes 5 feet down. It's empty.
Did you find the bottom?
Yeah.
So at least 3 feet.
That far, no?
More than that.
Yeah,
More like 4.
yeah. Yep.
Pick your poison. Soft sand up there, firmer sand down here on an angle, and with the possibility, whoop, that just happened, of a water invasion.
For cans and a bottle and a sock. And then there was a bag of dog shit. I didn't touch that though.
And this is a clean day on the beach. This section between Miners Visitor Center and Sand Point is always a bushy one. And oftentimes very wet. But it's been dry lately, so hopefully that will not be an issue this time. And hopefully the trail improvements they reportedly have put in will keep us off the wet, if there is wet to be found. I slowed down, but now can't be much more than a mile to the car, and the only question remaining is, will I get there before the storm hits? And since Ella's with me, she hung back and waited for me to drag my sorry butt forward. Well, she also make it before the storm. It started to spit, but I think we're almost there. We didn't beat the rain, but we might beat the storm. The end of a good trip for everybody, especially if Elle and I can make it back without getting blasted. Oh, I think we're gonna make it. We got another 30 seconds. Can we do it in 30? Can we do it? Can we do it? The end is coming. The end is almost here. We have arrived. We have arrived.